Hi, I'm Mark Vernon. I'm going to show you how to use the Tag Developers repository to build apps using Tagcash and Fuse tools. So this is the app that you can download right now and build. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. It's basically an app, the simple app. We're just showing a data listing and data that comes from that, details. And this has built in some of the extra items that come with a wallet. So the wallet itself and the ability to add more currencies, to send money. So for example, I'll show you just transferring a little bit to another account. So that's built in, and you've got other assets, other parts of it like the event identifiers, which allow you to add in QR codes or NFC RFID identifiers that will, when used, will bring up the details of the user they're connected to. So that's built in. We also have the ability to switch between user accounts and merchant accounts. Those could be groups, communities, whatever you want to call it. And they have separate wallets, separate things like roles, and so on. These are all part of the app that we're launching. So on the advertising side, for example, you can add in monetization for your particular application. So we can build them for you, or you can come up with your own as well. We'll add in other modules that you can use and reuse. But the first one you'll be creating, anything that's in here you wouldn't really change because this is built into the Tagcash app. And then we'll be adding in any games or modules or applications that you want inside the app. This is the part you work on. However, if you want to create a standalone app, that's when you need to take notice of the things on this, the look and feel and so on. So how does that look on the actual repo? So once you've downloaded the repo, you can see you'll have two folders. The dev app is if you want to modify small amounts of things to load up the work that you do in dev module. This is more for standalone apps, and then the work you can actually do is in dev module. So that's the project file and then the pages inside. You can see tag modules, QR code scanners, common stuff. You're not going to mess with that very much unless you're building a standalone app. And let's have a look at this in Visual Studio. So that's the work you're going to be doing. For example, the main view. This will load up the dummy module, the data listing page that you develop in the module side here. So you can see it says UX code, simple enough to use. In this particular instance, we brought in data from an outside API, a news API. And then we're just using that data, bound data inside the details page and the listing page. If you decide to change the name of the tag dev module to something else, back in the project file here, you'd have to change the reference here. And what you want to load up, how you want that to load first, you'll be changing the text down here. So to get started in development, you'll have to install the Fuse tools, libraries, etc. So we use npm for running the libraries and for building. So npm install -g fuse open fuse libs, and the other one is the SDK. So that's npm install -g fuse SDK. If you're this is to build local apps that you can just run on your desktop. If you wanted to create apps for Android for testing as well, then you'll install the Android tools. And if you're already developing for Android, you probably have them already installed, but npmi Android build tools, and you'll probably need to install JDK, Java Development Kit 1.8 or greater. So the process for building, once in fact you can download the repo and immediately build just to test it out. You can see I'm inside the Tag Developer directory. So unibuild.net, if you replace .net with Android if you want to create an Android app, and then the project file. And that takes a short while to build. And if you want to build over the top of a previous build, you can just put -- force, but usually you don't need to do that. You just regenerate a new one with the new changes integrated. And to play the finished build, in the dev app you'll see the build folder. Go into .NET, debug, and you'll get to see the tag dev app. That's it. So it's fairly straightforward, but if you want to learn some more on Fuse tools, then you can go to Fuse Open and get to see all the details on there, codes used, etc. You can see you can build in multiple locations, multiple platforms. And there's something else you can read. There's quite a few postings online, a lot of tutorials on YouTube. We'll be sharing those in the future as well. That's where I mentioned the install of the Fuse SDK. Check in the Uno version. I think at the moment I'm on 1.12, I think. And that's where we're building the app. So I'm looking for apps that can exist inside Tagcash and are accessed through the apps and services menu or the games menu or other options that we're going to add in the future. Looking for 200 or 300 apps and to exist inside Tagcash to bring people in with the shared utilities, the wallets and so on. But if you want to build your own standalone app, that's something you can do as well. Or they can do both. The APIs used are demo APIs. We can build more APIs for you. And you can use your own APIs, your own data, and do whatever you want. But in particular, I'm looking for game apps, booking apps, anything that's really useful for users to come in and access it. And obviously anything that involves monetization, wallets, advertising, and so on. And once you've finished your app and you want to send it to us, you can send the APK to us for playing around, testing, or you can send the finished code, just compress it up and send this to us, and then we can take a look at it and integrate it into Tagcash. And I hope to see some great apps being created. If you need to get in touch with me, you can send me email, you can chat to me online via Messenger, WhatsApp, the usual methods of communication. But probably the easiest way of getting in touch with us and chatting with other developers and our own is through the Telegram group t.me/tagcashdev. Look forward to chatting to you there.